Hey everybody, it is Kyle. I am coming to you from my basement. Um, I talked with you guys a little bit about the trip we were getting ready to take, and we went to that this weekend, and it was really cool. Met a lot of great people who are resellers. Learned a little bit about how they do things and how their business and their ideas have changed over time, and even went thrifting with some of them. Got a quick video and a photograph that I'll put in the notes or in the video. The photos thing. I put the link up there every time. But yeah, it was a good time, and it was interesting. It was really interesting because I didn't really know what to expect, and I didn't know how many people to expect and all that kind of thing. But it was really cool, and I had a lot of fun, and I met some really cool people, and I had one particular incident that happened. One of the people who helped put on this whole event is from a reseller that I watch on YouTube. He and his spouse, and we went. Let's see. Yeah, it was the last night we were all there, and we went to go eat at a place called Big Fred's Pizza. It's a big pizza joint there in Omaha, really on the way to Lincoln, I believe. So it was a little bit out of town as far as Omaha goes. But I had to use the restroom, so I walked into the restroom, and I noticed that there was a guy standing at a urinal, closer to the door, and then there was another guy standing at a urinal further away from the door, like the last urinal back there. The guy who was standing further away at the last urinal actually had his pants down and his underwear down around his ankles. I shit you not. So basically just, butt ass naked there, Porky Pigging it from the waist down. I mean, and he was just standing there peeing, kind of gave me a weird look, like, woo, he was obviously trashed. Had a bunch of Nebraska Cornhusker stuff on, and I don't know. I don't know if he'd been watching the basketball games earlier that day or what's going on exactly, but it was insane. And he pulled his pants up, zipped his pants up, and everything, and left. And I looked at the guy to my right, and it just so turned out that was one of the people leading the event that I was there for this weekend. And he and I both were like, what in the hell was that? We just couldn't believe what we had just seen. It was just too bizarre. And then he proceeded to tell a pretty interesting story that evening when we were talking about it at a get-together later that evening, having a cocktail towards the end of the night. And he told a story about how one time they had bought a used video camera or something like that, or they got that given to them to sell or whatever. And long story short, there was a tape in it, and on the tape was a person that they knew doing something pretty obscene with their anus and golf balls. Oh my goodness. I was dying when he told that story, but it was a weird enough situation that we had. Now, that is not the first time I've walked into a public restroom and seen some dumb shit with his pants and underwear all the way down around his ankles. Sorry, I had to pause it there. The dog was barking. But yeah, that is not the first time I've seen that. But I did see it once in college, and I will almost give the person a pass because, you know, we were all in college and that person was drunk as hell. Now, this dude was drunk as hell also, but he was a grown-ass man. So there's really no excuse for it. But anyway. But yeah, so what's going on good in my life? It was a great trip. We had a good time. We met some really nice people and did a little bit of networking. And it was fun. It was a nice little break for the wife and I too. We enjoyed, some time just together hanging out and doing stuff we wanted to do. And it wasn't a lot of relaxing, but it was still fun. And we actually, we got there Thursday night. We talked to everybody on Friday and stuff. Then Friday afternoon, we went with the whole crowd. We went on a party bus and went thrifting at a couple different places, starting with one of the Ben's locations of Goodwill. And so that was pretty interesting. We did find some nice stuff. And then we went to a couple other places and found a couple things here and there. But then the next morning, Saturday morning, it was a little more open. Pretty much, go have fun, go do what you're going to do. So we talked a lot about it and decided we just wanted to go just with ourselves and go to do a little bit of thrifting. So we got up and went to a couple different places and found some really good deals. So we'll see how that all shakes out. But really, really excellent thrifting going on, and then excellent learning as far as, just a variety of people there. And one of the youngest people there, he is got his own business set up and he is very successful with what he does. So it's kind of cool to see that. So that was interesting, listening to him talk and listen to him answer questions and stuff like that. But again, it was just cool to get a little bit of a break and to enjoy ourselves doing what we wanted. So it was great. It was a great trip. And like I said, learned quite a bit. And yeah. So there you go. All right. Well, what am I into? Well, there's no doubt that I'm into reselling. Let me just go ahead and say that. And so I've toyed around with the idea of doing maybe putting this show on a little bit of a pause, a hiatus for a while, and leaning into a podcast primarily about reselling and just my experiences and stories that we have about that, the good and the bad and the ugly. But I don't know. I don't know if that's what I'm going to do or not. So I'm still trying to toy around with that and see if that's something I want to try. What else was I going to say? I don't know, but it's become such a big part of my life. And we met a lot of other people there that are in the same kind of boat. As far as, the only reason they're doing this is so that when they retire, they'll have this extra source of income. They're not doing it as they're living right now. It's a part-time thing right now. We met a lot of people who do this full-time, and that's great. It's just not really what we're after. And we met plenty of people in the same boat as us. So pretty interesting group of people. But I am considering that. And, maybe I'll just bounce back and forth between the shows and do a little bit here and there. Maybe every other week, do one or the other. But I don't know. I'm still trying to decide if that's what I want to do or not. So we'll see. I have no idea. It's just going back and forth in my head, and I'm trying to decide if that's something I want to do. If you'll notice, there is new album art for the podcast. There's a new piece of art there, a new Dad Snark podcast logo, similar to the one that existed before, but this one actually was created entirely with AI. I merely told the AI I typed in that I wanted it to create a picture of a lawn with those words mowed into the lawn and the lawnmower off to the side after it's mowed those letters and words into the lawn. And that's what I got. So kind of cool, kind of different. I know a lot of people are haters on AI, and I get that, but I think AI also has a lot of good things to offer us as well. So, hopefully we can kind of keep it under control and do what we want to do with it and not let it get out of control. But if I know humans, I know we'll mess it up somehow. Okay, and then my daughter, she throwing javelin and stuff, and I got to see her to meet before we went out of town last week, and she threw further than she ever had, so that was really a good sign. And then she ended up getting thrown into a meet on Friday when we were out of town, and she threw even further than that, which is interesting because it was super crazy windy, she said, and the first 2 throws she had were scratches. Simply because of the way it landed or the wind caught it, those kinds of things. And so she adjusted a little bit, and she ended up throwing it further than she has before that. So that's pretty cool. And then she has another meet this week, so I'll be going to check that one out as well. All right, so now what am I into? The real deal here. I did pick up one record, as you'll see if you go look at the photos that I attach every week to the show's notes. I did pick up a pretty crazy record that I found, so that was kind of cool. But really, other than that, it was primarily just hunting down things, trying to find new things, and trying to find things that are good to sell, obviously. So yeah, pretty wild. So let's see, what have I been listening to? Well, I mean, there is that new album. Now that album is an album of Polka Band, and it's called 2 Beers and Everyone Sings, which is, I couldn't resist the title of it because it's true, man. After a couple beers, everybody kind of joins in the singing. But the funny thing about this record is it's polka music, which is fine, but it's obviously just a big load of drunk people in a beer hall somewhere just singing along with the polka band. So it's kind of funny. My wife does not care for it. I played it last night when we were cooking dinner, and she was like, I don't like this. So it probably won't get a lot of spins around this house, but when I'm feeling ornery, maybe I'll put it on a little bit. I do have another Vinyl Moon on its way to me right now, so that's kind of cool. Nothing else I can think of really right now. I mean, there's a few playlists we've been listening to that are like 70s road trip we listened to on our trip back and forth. We also listened to a cool yacht rock playlist that's really good on Spotify, but not a whole lot as far as listening to anything different right now. Okay, what have I been watching? I mean, we did finish up that first season of Shrinking, which is great. We did start up season 3 of The White Lotus last night. That show is something else, and this particular season looks like more of something else than we've seen before now. So we'll see how it goes, but pretty wild. Looking forward to watching that show this season, and on and on and on until they quit making it, I guess. But I mean, really nothing new there either as far as what we're watching. We have started watching The Righteous Gemstones again, and it's great. We just kind of fell off of it at one time, so it wasn't something we stuck to really tight, but we do like it quite a bit. So we'll continue to watch that one. And then, of course, we have some other things out there that we have been watching and stuff like that, but I've talked about most of those. There's nothing really that sticks out that I think that, as far as nothing that I haven't discussed with you guys already. So, okay, and reading. What have I been reading? Not much. I mean, really not much at all. I do have some books that, and I've talked about those too. I just have to find some time to get back into reading them. So I will. It'll happen. And then let's see, gaming, nothing. Not a damn thing. Nothing there at all. And then podcasts. Kind of the same boat there. I mean, there's nothing new as far as podcasts go. I've talked to you guys about everything I'm listening to and what I'm into right now. So there's nothing really new as far as podcasts go at all. I can't think of anything. I did add 2 old guys podcasts, which is a couple resellers. So I might start listening to that a little bit and see what I think and see if it's something I want to do as far as a podcast specifically about reselling. It was fun meeting with people and talking about it and stuff. So it probably would be kind of fun to do it. You know, I'll have to see. We'll see. And people are busy too. Resellers are busy. They're on the move constantly, trying to find stuff, source stuff, and make stuff happen. So people are, it's not going to be easy to find a lot of people that are willing to give up their time just to talk on a podcast. But, you know, I'm enough of a blowhard, I can probably do that myself. So, but that's it, guys. You know, I'll put a poll on here and just see if you guys think this whole separate podcast thing is a good idea. So please go answer it, check it out, let me know what you think, and I will get back with you guys next week. I appreciate you listening. Take it easy and get off of my lawn.